Hey guys, Josh from SockReviewsForYou.com, bringing you a comparison video between the brand new Adidas F50 adizero miCoach and the Adidas F50 adizero Prime. Now I chose the Prime because I kind of consider that the premium synthetic to kind of compare with the miCoach synthetic, because they are a little bit different. The Prime synthetic is a little bit thinner than the rest of the synthetics, and the miCoach is kind of a completely new take on synthetic. It's not completely new in terms of the actual material, but it is a little bit different for considering what Adidas has done with the last two adizeros. So yeah, first thing I'll start off with is the upper. You'll notice that these yellow sections here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it so well on camera, but it's kind of almost a rubberized, kind of harder material than the rest of the material, maybe even slightly thicker. And it's kind of there as a form of lateral support, and it's tighter in those areas, so it wraps your foot a little bit tighter. That's the very first thing I noticed about this synthetic, is that they definitely fix the shape a little bit. It does have a much tighter fit overall than the original synthetic adizeros, which in my opinion just did not have a very good fit whatsoever. Where the Prime, again, it's a lot thinner. You can definitely tell it's a lot thinner. Like, it'll collapse on itself. It's so thin, and it really gives that barefoot feel, like probably the best barefoot feel of any soccer shoe on the market. Next thing to talk about, the biggest change, probably apart from the fit that they did improve, for sure they did improve. I'm pretty proud of Adidas for finally fixing the heel area, because that was one of my biggest complaints about the adizero. They finally put just a standard synthetic leather liner. It doesn't have that textured material, that rough texture that the other adizeros have, and it's lined pretty well. It's got a wider liner on the inside, so you don't have those stitching rough edges right on the back of your heel. And then you get it's not a little flap anymore. It's a physical heel, so I feel like you're a lot more secure when you do tie the laces up. Where on this adizero, as you can see, it's just not very solid. It's got this textured liner. I'm not a fan of it at all. I was never a fan of it, and it just became really uncomfortable after about an hour and a half of wearing. I know a lot of people didn't have that issue, but in comparison to more other speed boots even, they just weren't as comfortable, I found, at least. Another thing I found is the siding is different. This is majorly due to the sprint frame change. I was pretty much a standard size 9 in all of the adizeros, the standard adizeros. In the adizero miCoach synthetic, I needed a 9.5. And trust me, I know it's scary going up half a size, especially when you really like that tight fit like I do, but the 9.5 fits exactly like the 9 did. So if you are looking to get a synthetic, I definitely recommend going up half a size. Another thing that has changed is the sprint frame itself. On the new miCoach, you see the sprint frame kind of has the hard edges now, but to me the biggest difference is the stiffness. This is a lot stiffer than the adizeros used to be, and it was, again, one of my biggest complaints with this shoe. And this is probably one of the biggest improvements with this shoe as well. It's a lot stiffer. I don't think it's so much due to the shape. To be honest, I think they changed the plastic. It seems to be ever so slightly thicker, and for that reason it's a lot stiffer. And even after wearing it I think I have like 3 or 4 hours on these shoes now, they're still pretty stiff. They didn't really lose much of their stiffness. The old adizeros kind of had this very flimsy, like these are brand new, I haven't even worn these. These are brand new, and these are really almost flimsy already. Like, they just so pliable and everything. Makes for a very lightweight, but probably not the best in terms of durability and long-lasting appeal. And the last thing that they kind of claimed was the stud pattern change. And here's a standard adizero stud pattern change that everyone's pretty familiar with by now. It's kind of like they're triangular studs, so it's kind of a mix of conical and blades. They're slightly taller than a lot of firm ground shoes. To be honest, I was never really a big fan. It definitely does the job, not a bad stud pattern at all, but never was a big fan. And they're kind of claiming this 2.0 version with the miCoach, and to be honest, there's very, very little difference. Apart from having this bump in the middle. The only real differences are these two front studs. I don't know if you can see this little curve here. These curves on the two front studs. That's really the only difference apart from the finish on all of these. These ones have kind of this, let's see if you guys can see it. This kind of indentation, Triforce looking indentation, where these ones are just pretty much flat. Again, is this a big difference that you're probably going to notice? I don't think so. I didn't notice it. So as far as the stud pattern goes, I'd say it's pretty much the same thing you've been used to if you've worn the Adizeros since the beginning. It's going to be nothing new for you. Now for the final category that everybody seems to be very concerned with these days is the weight of these shoes, especially with the Adizeros. The Adizero Prime is technically the lightest shoe in the world at 5.1 ounces. And these are both size 9 shoes, so that is technically what they should be basing their shoe weight off of, which is the middle size, which in this case is size 9. Like I said, listed weight 5.1 ounces, actual weight, right in real time, 5.3 ounces. So they're definitely lying about the weight, but at the same time, 5.3 ounces, very lightweight. Now this is the new Adizero, size 9, has a comfort insole in there because, let's face it, I think everyone uses a comfort insole. Just the standard lightweight insole just is not very good. And this has a listed weight of 5.8 ounces. So the actual weight, 6.3 ounces. So this is no longer a sub 5 ounce shoe. And throw in the Adizero miCoach chip, and I'm sure you got a shoe closer to 7 ounces. So I always talk about how shoe weight is not that important, and you sacrifice a lot to be a better shoe that offers more support, more structural integrity, more comfort. All that, you give all that up when you shed weight from a shoe. And I really think that it's nice to see that Adidas has finally realized that they can't just build a shoe basically out of paper. There has to be something added to the shoe, and weight's not all that important. So, like I said, the Adizero miCoach is definitely not as light. It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still a very lightweight shoe. It just isn't as light as they used to be. So definitely keep that in mind if that's one of your main concerns, which it shouldn't be. As always, guys, make sure you guys comment, rate, subscribe. Really helps me out. Don't be afraid to like and favorite the video. And also, go check out my Facebook page, guys. The link's in the description of that. Any new content that goes up on my website, any new YouTube videos, any questions you want to ask, that all happens on my Facebook page. So click the link in the description to go check that out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to SoccerPro.com for sending this product in for review. SoccerPro always has the best customer service and some of the best prices online with no membership fees. For more information on SoccerPro.com, click the link in the description to Soccer Reviews for You. Thanks for watching, guys.